your translation and your movement is speaking a whole nother language. If we get on the dance floor, you understand what language I'm speaking. But dance has always been part of our family. It's always been part of our life. And so that never changed, never died. And his dad tried to come in the door and try to regulate. And I was like, yo, I got this. So I called this kid over, stand next to me. I said, all right, we're going to do this whole thing we just learned in class. And then after he did the step,
welcome back to Be Life Changers. I'm your host, Kathy Coates, and I have a very special person with me today, SugEasy from Translations and Movement, and I'm excited to tell his story today and have him here to tell his story today. This episode is something special because we are diving into purpose, passion, and impact through culture, creativity, and connection. SugEasy is the owner of Translation and Movement, Kansas City's premier hip-hop arts school, is creating a space where youth and adults can learn breaking, DJing, art, freestyle, but more importantly, confidence, discipline, and belief in themselves. And that's what I love most, is that you are here making a difference in kids' lives. So thank you so much, Sug, for being on Be Life Changers, being a part of this movement that we have, trying to get the city to know more about great businesses right here in Kansas City.
Thanks for having me.
So we are here at JT Visuals. This is where I record my podcast, and I appreciate them so very much for taking care of putting this podcast on, making sure it happens. It's a really cool spot. So anybody who's ever been thinking about doing a podcast or would like to try being on a podcast, let us know. It is JT Visuals without the I, because they are more than meets the eye. So what did you think when you came in today to the studio?
Oh, yeah. It's a nice little spot. It's different.
Well, I love it. I love it here. They take care of everything. Like I said, being a busy business owner, helping businesses get their word out there. You know, me doing a podcast, having to edit it and do all the clips and stuff, because I'm already doing clips for businesses and stuff. So it would be really hard to take that on. But it was a passion of mine. So coming here and having them be able to do it just really, really helps a lot. Well, I thank you for coming. Sug and I have recently met, not too long ago, a few weeks ago. We have Gabriel Gibbs now, which is my son, who is deaf and autistic. And we go throughout the city, and a business pays it forward to another business. And someone nominated you, Sug, for all the hard work that you do right here in the community for our youth, giving them a purpose, a reason, teaching them discipline through dance and using their artistic abilities. And so that just really did my heart good when Gabriel brought the coffee down to you, and you were so kind to him, which means a lot. And then I got to know a little bit more about you and found out that you even have a night where you take special needs and let them express their creativity through dance as well. And so that just really spoke to me. So I was like, I have to know more about your story. That intrigued me. I knew that you have a heart for kids, and I wanted to see where that came from. So thanks for coming out today. So with that said, let's go dig a little bit deeper into Sug and how it got started. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing. When did you kind of find that you were a creative at heart?
I would say that's probably been there the whole time, but it also with family, my mom being creative, making up games and pictures and parks and whatever we can imagine, we would just do it.
Did you come from a big family, a small family?
Nah, my family's small. You know, one mom, one dad,
right?
One brother, one sister.
That's me. I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest sister, and I have a younger brother. We were 5 years apart. So it was just the two of us. And then went into craziness of me having 8 kids. So it was a lot different, you know, switching into that mom role and being a mother immediately of 3 kids and then birthing 5 later. That it makes a difference from being, you know, small going into a big family like that. So,
right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So your story kind of reminds me, I can always tell kids when I see them at a young age when they start having that creative spirit, because you said you would make up the things that you were going to do when you went out to the park. I mean, that's things that I always say, kids, when you start seeing them, they're the one that's making up the game. Or, my daughter, who is a rap artist right here in Kansas City, when she was little, she would always be the one to make the tickets for the event. So, like the family, we all had to come to her performance.
Right.
And she would have her clipboard and she would sell her tickets to us before the event, and everything was planned out. Like, that was just her normal. That's just what she did. Nobody taught her how to do that. She was creative at heart. And that's why I am so big into, letting people, sometimes they forget their childhood when you were able to dream like that, because we have life happen, right? All kinds of life happens. And then we have to be responsible adults. And sometimes we forget what we're really called to do. Like, we all have a purpose to be right here. And there is a plan. And sometimes we just get lost in the hustle and bustle of everyday life to really remember what is our gifts, what's our talents, and what's our abilities. So I love that you started out there because, you were born a creative at heart.
Honestly, I think everyone's born as a creative heart. God designed us all to be the same. So we're not doing anything different. It's just what path you take down the road and see where it goes, where it leads. So we all have the ability to be creative. Most people are just
don't tap into
subconsciously nervous or scared, or they don't want to be vulnerable because, they don't want to be judged. But at the end of the day, you're being judged no matter what you do or how you do it. So
that's right.
It don't matter if you're good or bad, you're being judged. So
that's true. It does happen that way sometimes. I think we're scared at how somebody's going to perceive us or what they think of us, when really at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Just do what you're passionate about. Do where your heart desires is, because that calling is going to come back to you over and over again. Just like you said, everybody is born to do something. Everybody has a calling. Everybody has a gift. And it's going to keep coming back to you even when you try to walk away from it. It's going to keep trying to make that entrance to you. Being bold enough to take that step, I think, being surrounded sometimes by the right people to encourage you to get there. And so, I think that's super important.
Yeah, but you can also be surrounded by the wrong people to help you get there.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter which group you're around. You just got to know which circle to move in. But sometimes the people that you're not supposed to be around will also give you a boost to understand, I ain't supposed to be here, so I need to go do this. Then you got people that are around you that will boost you up to go do something else, but at the same time, they're still around you to hold you back from doing what you got to do. So you got heads or tails.
Heads or tails, that's right, heads or tails. So tell me just a little bit more. So as you develop those things as a young child, what do you think started triggering you? Tell us a little bit about you.
I grew up dancing with family, family reunions, things like that, backyard barbecues, whatever. But I always danced. I got in breaking in 1980. Let me see, was it 83? Maybe. Let me see, 78, 79, 81, 2, 3. Yeah.
83.
83. I was 5 years old breaking.
All right. Uh-oh.
I was actually in San Diego. And this is around the time when, Michael Jackson is making Thriller and all this stuff. So, but dance has always been part of our family. It's always been part of our life. And so that never changed, never died. And so I just kept that going. I would never say that it was like my passion to dance. It was something that I loved to do as a kid growing older. I didn't know it was going to take me this far. It wasn't a dream to be a professional dancer or a professional teacher or a mentor. That was never in the cards. It's just how life played out, how God lead the paths. This is where you're going to be. But I didn't know that. So
I know you have a passion for kids. So tell us a little bit about your story growing up. What were some of the challenges? Was there some circles that you found yourself landing in that, taught you, like you said, flip of the coin?
Like I said, I danced my whole life in the States. I was dancing over in Japan my 3rd grade year, 4th grade, 5th grade year. But what really kind of drove it home a little bit was probably my 6th grade year. Moving to South Carolina, Beaufort, Robert Smalls Middle School. my 6th grade year, we're just getting back from Japan. So I'm going to an all-black school, and I didn't fit in because I came from Japan. And so I wasn't black enough for my peoples. I got picked on a lot. So my 6th grade year, I hate that year. I got bullied the whole year. But the only thing that saved me through that year was dance. It was dance.
Right.
So when we had the school parties or the dances, whatever you want to call them, I would dance. And that's when everything shifted. Everything changed. Then it was like, oh, he can dance.
Right.
But at the same time, 6th grade, when I was dancing, I was actually getting the chicks. So I was getting the women
Uh-oh.
in 6th grade.
That's all that matters,
so
right? No.
getting the seventh grade women that other people wanted to talk to. But I was just dancing with the girls. So, But that's what kept me going. I was like, I'm just going to dance. And so every time I danced, no matter where I was, where I be, that was always like, I wouldn't say like a safety net, but I always knew that will always be the shield for anything.
Right. And I think that is important, to find that shield. Because, let's be honest, kids are not nice sometimes.
Right.
And growing up is not easy. Telling that story and letting other kids know that is important. I used to get picked on too. I grew really fast, which I know sounds funny because I'm 5'5.5", and I was tall at one point. Like I was even taller than all the boys. So I kind of got bullied. I wasn't beautiful. I had acne really bad at the beginning. And so the guys wanted me to be on they played kickball back then. I was really good in sports. It didn't matter what sports, but I could kick the ball further than even the guys. And so, they would pick me to be on the team, but then make fun of me, call me ugly. And then, at that point in time, I had given my life to Christ in 5th grade. So they called me the Jesus freak. So every time I got on the bus, I was called the Jesus freak. And all these kind of different things that they would just call and make fun of. And so you would have to hone in, like you said, and find that. I always say it's kind of like where you find your safety net, and kind of push yourself through that. Like, well, what if I kick the ball? Then they're not, if I express myself in a certain way, then I'm not I'll fit in a little bit. And I think that even comes to the point of where we try to fit in. I look back at that and I'm like, okay, because then years later, those same guys that were making fun of me were begging to date me because, it's like the pretty one in school. I was no longer chunky. I was no longer fat. I didn't have acne. I was very beautiful at the time. And so it was like, then everybody wanted to date me, which is, I find it funny that a lot of those people that make fun of you end up, being your biggest fans later. Or, you go back to your high school reunion, they all act like they were your best friends. And you're like, oh, yeah, no, you didn't even pay attention to me. What are you talking about? So I think it's great for people like you and I to be mentors to those young kids, let them know this is just a stage. It's just a phase. This is just a few people. Like I used to always tell my kids growing up, you can try to impress those few people that are there that you're never going to know. You can't see this right now because you're in a room of people that you think is everyone when they're just a drop in the bucket. They're a drop in the bucket because those kids that influence you to take drugs or those kids that are trying to influence you to drink or do whatever you don't want to do, they're not going to be there later. When you go to college, you probably won't even know them. Like, how many people do you really know out of high school? I have one best friend that I stay from high school. You go to college. I don't even speak to them unless it's like on Facebook. So when you look at it like that, be careful what decisions you make because it's a drop in the bucket because that's just a group of people in this huge area where there's way more people. So you don't have to try to please people. Just be you. Be who you are. And but I think that safety net is very, very important. Turning around, tell us a little bit more about the next stage of life.
So let's see, next stage, that was we was in South Carolina. Then I moved back to Texas. Because I'm originally from Texas.
Okay.
Houston, Texas, but went to school in Hemphill, Texas.
Okay.
So East Texas. Where do we go from there? California, Oceanside. And so we was in Oceanside, California, still doing dance. When I was 15, I started teaching people dance. That's where I learned how to house. I was doing more hip-hop, a little bit of breaking, but it was not not big. It was mostly probably hip hop and house. California sticks out a lot more with dance because some of my friends' moms and them used to be on Soul Train, so I got to see them on Soul Train.
Mm-hmm. What was that experience like? Was that pretty cool?
What?
Getting to see Soul Train?
I saw Soul Train all my life.
Oh, yeah, I know you saw Soul Train all your life.
I mean, I'm not sure, like, you know, if I would, like, say it was like an experience, like, oh, I saw such and such mom on Soul Train. Okay, move on.
I thought you meant you were, like, actually on the set at Soul Train.
No.
That's what I was like, okay.
Watch the TV.
Oh, watch the TV. Well, we all watch the TV and then there's Soul Train.
We had a talent show, and I helped choreograph this talent show with a couple friends, and the winner of the talent show at this time was going to open up for Whitney Houston, and we won the talent show.
Uh-oh.
And so we were supposed to open up for Whitney Houston, and then the people that was supposed to give me the information, the crew I was with, they never told me, so they went and did it themselves.
Oh, no.
So they left me out of the equation. So even though it was my choreography, but it was like we lip synced to, because it was they was lip syncing, we had the roses and stuff, but it was for it was Jodeci remix to Come and Talk to Me.
Okay, I remember that.
And so,
yeah, I do remember that. I'm that old.
Yep.
I was like, I do remember that. Yep, Whitney Houston, Jodeci, I listened to them all.
Yeah, so I've been choreographing dance since I was like 15. It just wasn't, you know, a paid gig yet. It wasn't professional. But then again, I'm not looking at that as a professional career, because around that time, I wanted to be a rapper.
Okay.
So dancing was not like, I'm going to make this serious. It was like I wanted to be an MC, a rapper. My mom was like my management team, I guess. She found me a manager. She found me a producer, and I had to go rap for him and to see if I'd be able to be on the label or get him to work with me. And after that, I didn't want to be a rapper anymore.
Right.
It wasn't my thing either.
Well, I think sometimes we have to try something out, though, before we know. For real. We may think one thing is one area we want to go into, you know, and then we find out, okay, that wasn't exactly what I thought or the way, you know.
For me, it was more like I just like dance more. It wasn't the fact that I didn't want to, like, do it. It's just like I feel like I want to dance more. I was writing rhymes, I was freestyling, but I just didn't have the passion for it. You know, it's like, I'm going to do dance.
No, I get that. I get that. My mom was a hairdresser, and get this, my mother-in-law is a hairdresser. They both do hair. And I love to do hair too, but my mom always told me, you don't love it enough. And I was like, well, okay, because she just said, I just don't see that passion in you. I don't think that you're really going to like it as much as you think you are. And so I'm glad I didn't get to the point where I went in and did all the school training and all that kind of stuff. But, I mean, I still do hair. I mean, I do all my daughter's hair, and, you know, I get to do all that's fun. I mean, it's good to be able to know it on the side. But it's true. That was not my calling. That's not where I wanted to be. And over life, it's changed several times. But each one of those things, every step I take in life, and I think you probably attest to this too, even though you went in rapping and doing those things and probably got seen for a while, it brings you back to what you love to do even more. And I always say it pays a part, because all the things I've ever done in life lead me to what I'm doing right now.
I tell people quite often, I don't regret anything that I've done in my life because I wouldn't be who I am today. So everything I went through, led through, failures, good points, being in trouble, whatever you want to call it, made me who I am today. It shaped my thought process. It shaped how I want to raise my kids. It shaped how I want to maneuver things in life. So my opinion, I let people know you don't regret it because it's shaping you. I mean, there's a lesson to be learned from everything you've done, and everything you've been put in a situation, you was put there for a reason, but it's up to you to figure out what that lesson is from that reason. And if you don't want to, you know, figure it out, I mean, that's on you.
Well, I think that's how our character is built. I mean, through those experiences we go through, whether good or bad, our next choice helps build our character, like who we really are.
Yeah. And that's pretty much probably why dance has always been the forefront. I mean, like I said, I was living in California, hung around gang members, did a lot of stuff, but dance was always the forefront. But it also let me go through different neighborhoods because, oh, that such and such, he dances, he's cool. I get to walk through the neighborhood because I dance. I mean, it was cool for me. So
no, I can understand that. Yeah, so you get to experience those things and get around a different culture of people and learn more about that too, which I think is important. I mean, I think we should cross more and get to learn more about each other. And so I think because, I mean, then you can really know what someone's thinking or get to really know a person to the core at heart. Until then, it's just an assumption.
I think it's also communication. People don't speak.
Oh, so true.
You know, I think
You hit that on the head.
Even in my life today, I ask a lot of questions. I don't have to know you. I just meet you, but I want to know something about you. But I'm from a different place. Like, I'm from Texas. You know, we're straightforward. We like to talk. Kansas City, they're passive aggressive. And so it's just it's a little bit different.
And then what do you say about California?
California, I mean, they're straightforward.
They're straightforward? Yep.
So
I lived in Atlanta for a while, so I lived there for 3 years. And so communication, I would say, is definitely, is lacking. They're more laid back than what I expected. I expect, like when you get one thing done a day, if you went to go get your tags on your car, expect to take it all day long. If you went to the doctor's office, that's what you did that day. And I'm a very high-paced person. So it drove me nuts, although there were things I loved about it too. I mean, there's lots to do in Atlanta. Some of the cities around was just too slow-paced for me. But like you said, that they're quick to tell you how you feel. Yep, I get that. So I think that's funny. But you do have to kind of slide and know where you're at.
With my dad being in the Marines and got to travel a lot and shaped also who I am with the open-minded. Open-minded to a lot of things. I think that shaped me a lot as well. To be the teacher and mentor that I am is because I got to experience different things in different states and different countries.
Yeah, because you said that you'd went to Japan, correct? Did you
Yeah,
guys
been in Japan,
stay
been
there
to
for
Korea.
a while? How long did you stay in Japan?
3 years.
3 years. Okay, awesome. So you did get to learn a little bit. You're there long enough to get to know culture and...
Well, it was mandatory at our school. So we had to learn the culture aspect of it, the language, what else did I say, how to count.
Okay.
So for 3 years, me and my brother was taking Japanese classes Tuesdays and Thursdays. So by our 3rd year, we was pretty good at Japanese.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then you said Korea, so you've been to Korea for a while. So how long were you guys there?
We weren't there that long.
You were like, we were not there that long.
Not that long.
So that's cool. But I think that does help. I mean, and, you come back across and that sense of not fitting in, that had to be hard. But I always say when I'm sure when you're working with the kids, I'm always like, you guys give people a chance because they know something that you need to know. When people have been to many different places, I kind of attract to go towards those type of people. And I always have all my life. Maybe that's just part of my character. But if I've known someone to be different, whether that be special needs or they've been like the kid who traveled all over and never settled down, or I was always the one with the outcast, the one that nobody likes. Kathy went over and sat by them. I mean, that was just my thing. I always wanted everybody to feel included. My whole entire life, that's just always how it's been. I always went to the person who everybody was making fun of and sat down. I was like, what you going to say to me? Because you ain't going to say nothing to me because I'm going to get it. We're going to deal with this right now. What you going to say? But so I was always kind of like the big sis, I guess. But I loved doing it because you learn so much because I haven't been to Japan or I haven't been to Korea. So, I mean, I think we learn from each other. I feel it's a shame and it's sad that so many people choose to, pick on people that are a little different instead of really getting to know and understand them. So,
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just ignorancy. Most people pick on people because they're in an unfamiliar territory. They don't know how to react. They don't know how to respond to something that's different that they've never been around. So we all been through that state before where we've been in a situation that we don't know how to understand the situation. So we have to find a way to not always pick on somebody, but point out something to get a reaction and then figure out later on how to respond to that. But then by the time you respond to it, you're already like, this is too easy. I should have done this the first time around.
Right. I can get that. Well, moving with that. So translation and movement. So that happened. Did that birth out of here in Kansas City or?
So Translation in Movement Hip Hop School actually was renamed back in November. I was part of a franchise called Break Free Hip Hop School.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And we had parted ways. And so I wanted to do my own thing. And so Translation and Movement was the name I had years ago before me and my friend Kevin had found the franchise.
Okay.
And so we went with Break Free Kansas Hip Hop School. But then when I left the franchise, I went back to Translation and Movement.
I love that. I love that. But I think that's important that you said that because I think sometimes when we're getting ready to go into a business or, you knew you were passionate about dance and how to do that. I know at one point in time I was going to open a gym. Worked in Wichita at a tanning salon that owned a gym. So I've been back in Wichita. That's how basically all of this came about in business. Anyhow, I was a manager there. Every 3 months we would do a big ladies' night out to attract traffic to flip a gym. And so we did like a pop-up event and we do glow light Zumba. I actually ruined my son's car by dancing on top of it. How many high school kids have their mom dance on top of their car? But anyway, that's what we did to bring in traffic. But it was fun because I love dance too. I used to teach Zumba for many, many years, hip hop and Zumba. So I absolutely loved it. Did it for about 10 years, but I love the gym. So I always thought I was going to open a gym. Just that's what I thought I was going to do. And when I did look into it, I looked into franchising as well because there's just a lot of different reasons for franchising versus opening your own at first. And I think sometimes taking steps is good. Because you learn a lot about business when you're like in a franchise and stuff. So tell us a little bit about that journey in franchising. How was there ups and downs to it? Did it make it a little easier? Or you wish you did it another way? I mean,
when you get into a franchise, things can go many different ways. My experience was good and bad. I'll just leave it at that.
Right. No, I get that. I get that.
Felt really good just to do my thing.
Well, it's an accomplishment.
Because Translation and Movement was the name I wanted to go with in the beginning because your translation and your movement is speaking a whole nother language. And so no matter if I know you or if you're from a different country or whatever, if we get on the dance floor, you understand what language I'm speaking. So we can just translate and movement. So if you're an artist and you're drawing, you don't have to speak to me in your language. I can, learn through your paintings or your graffiti. If you're playing instruments, you're still moving, but I can understand you and learn you through your sounds and your music without even having to speak a word. So we're just translating in movement the whole time. So
I love that. That's so awesome because it is so true. I think a lot of times is getting out and dancing with someone. It's a different state. It's like all nervousness drops off. You might be nervous when you first start dancing. Sometimes I think some people are that they don't feel like they know how to dance or whatever. But I always say, just be yourself. It doesn't matter. Just move. When you get people into moving and stuff, it's like they just get to let go. It's like a form of just being able to let go of all your worries, your problems.
Yeah. There's a study how dance is a therapy, but a lot of people don't see it that way because when people watch other dancers, they're comparing themselves to a finished project. Like when people see me dance, they're like, I can't dance like you. And I'm like, that's true because you can't, because the way I hear the music, the way I feel the music is how I'm going to interpret it, how I'm going to move to the music. So you won't do the same thing as me. But some people just haven't gotten there yet. But it just takes a little bit of encouragement to get them there. But it's also the understanding of how to get there. Most people don't understand the why to be there. And so if they understand the why, it changes a whole different perspective of how to be on the dance floor. I think it's more so of the why, why are you doing it? Why you're on the dance floor. People will say, I'm on the dance floor because I just want to move my body. That's good. I understand that. But I need to understand your conversation at the same time. What are you trying to say? But I think once people get there, everything is just open. I mean, you have infinity places to be, so it's all good.
Well, I think that comes with you being a teacher, a difference in just someone who is dancing to being someone who can teach someone how to dance or teach them. I hear the teaching in you coming out because, not everybody would look at it at first as like, why are you doing this? Like, there's a reason behind, why are you dancing? And being able to pull that out of someone, that's a teacher at heart. That's a teacher in spirit. By you helping someone, you're freeing them and getting them to the next level. And I'm sure that has, just like anything that we help someone with, like when I see a business grow or go from doing pop-up shopping into owning their own brick and mortar, I get a sense of, I'm so excited. Like, that's so, that's so awesome. Like they've made it, they've arrived. And so there's just something about seeing someone make that next step that just gives you a sense of accomplishment. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. What got you into, I know that because you teach kids from very young all the way to adults, correct?
Yeah, we teach 2-year-olds to I was just saying this other day, my oldest student was 75, 76 years old. So we don't have dance shouldn't have an age on it, technically, but, we teach 2 to adults / elders, if you want to call it.
Right.
I work with, special abilities. So we don't have a preference of
right.
you have to be this age.
And I think a lot of times when I have met a lot of different instructors and dance instructors and stuff, they have an age group. And that's what I think I like. When I met you, I kind of was really intrigued about you and in your studio and stuff because you do have such a wide range. And, I said, this guy has got to have purpose, because I could tell that you have a really heart for kids of all ages. Because I know a lot of people who, they just teach, the grade school kids, or they just teach middle school, or they feel called to high school. And you have a passion for it all. Where do you...
So the crazy thing is the people that teach certain kids, I talk to some of those people, and I get the same answer every single time. It's because they don't have any patience. They don't have patience. They don't have patience to work with little kids, or they don't have patience to work with middle school kids,
right.
or they don't have patience to work with high school kids. It usually comes down to that. It's patience. But for me, I have patience because I know that you're going to make a mistake. I know you're going to mess up. I know you're not going to get it right away. I know there's going to be troubles. I know there's going to be walls you're going to hit. I know there's going to be some conversations that, that has to be talked about. But in order to get to the promised land, you got to have patience.
Amen.
And so,
say that one again.
And so when it comes to teaching, I'm just chill. I just let's see where we go. Patience. I know there's going to be certain kids, certain adults that's going to get it quicker than others. But I don't let that stop them from growing because I look at it as a peer pushing a peer. They got it faster. Well, that's cool. You want to do it too. And they're like, yeah, okay, well, your journey is going to be a little bit different.
Right.
So if you have patience, you'll get there. So that's why, for me, I could teach a 2-year-old. The 2-year-old can cry and run around the room. I'm not going nuts. I'm just chilling because now I have to understand, how do I teach this 2-year-old? How do I get him to understand this? What makes him tick? What makes him click? I had parents come in my class, years ago, their 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old kids in my class, and they're just running around, whatever. And parents try to come in the classroom and try to regulate. I'd be like, this is my classroom.
Right. I got this.
Go have a seat.
Go enjoy your moment alone.
But my kid is doing this. My kid's being disruptive. I'm like, no, that's what you see. I see something different. The rules don't apply here at your house. These are my rules. And so, just give you an example. I had a kid that came in class. He was autistic. And he came in class, and his dad was looking through the window, and the kid was just running around, pinning on people's jackets and standing in people's faces while we were stretching and whatever. And so I'm watching him do these things. And as we're dancing, I can see him learning. And his dad tried to come in the door and try to regulate. And I was like, yo, I got this. Chill out for a second. And he said the same thing. I can see my kid, he's being disruptive. I said, no, he's not. Just give me a second. So I called this kid over, stand next to me. I said, all right, we're going to do this whole thing we just learned in class. The kid did every single step.
Oh, wow.
And then after he did the step, he went back running around in class. So you have to meet people where they're at.
Right.
And not change it because you think it's for you. Because at the end of the day, it's not for you. It's for them. So when they're learning, you have to figure out what it is. Some people are visual. Some people are hands-on. Some people are sound. Some people are counts. Some people are noises.
Right.
You know, it's just you have to see where they're at and how they pick up the skill. And for this individual, it wasn't about standing still. It was a visual, but he was just moving. So some people have to move to understand it. And that's what he did. So I had to prove his dad wrong. And then his dad had to apologize after class. You know, it's like...
Well, everybody wants to be seen and heard. And I think you have the gift to be able to see into what's going on in a situation. And I think that makes you stand out, as an instructor. I think that really makes you stand out because I always say everybody wants to be seen, heard, and remembered. You as a business, you want to be seen, heard, and remembered. It leaves a legacy. It lets you have something for your kids to pass on or to know about you. So if you were to say one thing you would want people to remember you by, what would it be?
It's a good question.
Because you're doing so much. I mean, I think when I went and asked, everybody that I talked to about you said the discipline that you teach and that kids learn to believe in themselves. I mean, that's powerful.
I do know the parents that come to me will say how I'm very direct and straightforward. There's no sugarcoating. There's no ice cream compliment, whatever they call it, a sandwich compliment, whatever it is.
Don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah, so I just give it to you straight.
Right.
I'm really big on respect and discipline and life lessons. Some people that I know teach dance, they just teach dance. But I'm teaching life lessons with dance, not only to be in the studio, but life lessons how to be outside the studio. Because I learned a long time ago, no matter what business you work in or what school you go to or what dance place you at, if you're out in public and you wear that shirt and you're acting crazy, you represent my school.
Uh-oh.
And so therefore, if you represent my school and you get in trouble, it puts a bad name on my school. And so it's the same thing with parents. And when you walk out the door and you acting crazy, you represent your parents, and some people are like, that's a bad kid. So your representation of where you from, what school, your family, who you value, how you show that value to other people. We teach those things at our school. So
And that's what we need. Our kids need that. They desperately need that. So thank you. Thank you for giving that to our kids. I can say that because I'm a mom of many. My kids are not just the 8 kids. I have way more kids than that. There's more people that call me mom than I could probably name their names. But
yeah, it's the same thing in my school.
Same thing for your way.
Yeah, all my students are my kids.
Yeah, so your kids. So you won't tread that lightly.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us some things that you have coming up for the kids.
So in July, we have 2 camps. We have a skateboarding and breakdancing camp.
Okay.
And then we also have a style explosion camp, which in that camp we teach emceeing, beatboxing, graffiti, dance, and DJ.
Okay.
So we teach 5 elements in that one. So we have 2 different camps.
Awesome. So you do teach more than just dance.
Yeah.
Okay, so you say those one more time so people know when they want to come find you. What else is your expertise besides dance?
At the school, we teach breaking, hip-hop, DJ lessons, and art classes.
Okay.
In the summer camp, we teach breaking, DJ, graffiti, emceeing, and beatboxing.
Love it. So they have all. I'm going to bring my grandkids down this summer. They're going to come. I have a son who loves to beatbox. That's his thing. He loves to beatbox. That's awesome. And so tell us a little bit more, the one thing that is about your special needs class. That's on, is that Monday? Do I remember that right?
Yeah, we have special needs class Mondays at 4 o'clock. Every Monday.
Okay.
Any special abilities is welcome to the class. Yeah, that door is open for me. I don't know, maybe 20 years ago or so.
Okay.
When I started working at Down Syndrome Guild of Kansas City when it was on Neiman.
Okay.
It was just a door that was open. I mean, I've never taught special needs until like that time. Mm-hmm. My daughter's uncle has special needs, so I've been around. I have relatives with special needs, but I also knew an understanding about them. It was interesting for that class too. I went in that time, and the teacher or the people that organized it was like, make sure you teach something very easy. And so when someone tries to tell me how to do my job,
oh no, that doesn't go good, I'm sure.
I do the opposite.
Uh-oh.
So I taught something very hard.
And they did it, didn't they?
And because I knew where they are. Mm-hmm. They don't see us no different than what we see them. They see us the same. So I'm going to treat them the same, treat them as how they want to be treated. So I just taught a regular class.
There you go.
And they knocked it out of the park. I mean, there was one individual that didn't participate, but he cheered them on the whole time.
I love it.
Then I had 2 students that wanted to be assistants, teacher assistants. I was like, okay, whatever. And we knocked it out of the park. And I remember the lady asked me, she goes, oh my God, they actually got it. And I remember telling her, I was like, yeah, they got it. And they got it, but the only thing is you had doubt. Mm-hmm. You didn't believe in them. And so it kind of was like, ha-ha to you type joint.
Yeah.
But then ever since then, I knew God opened that door for a reason. Mm-hmm. And then I just never stopped. I had goals to do certain things. So I'm still going to do them. I just haven't done them yet. But I always understood. Mm-hmm. We look at them as people. They see us as people. Some people judge them because they have a special ability. And I just laugh. I was like, maybe they're judging you because you have a special ability.
I always tell my kids that. I'm like, I think your guys are the ones that need help because my son has everything put in its place. I never have to ask him to do the dishes. I mean, like, he just does it. And he does it to completion and perfection and is very, particular about it. Like you said, you hit it. You can't doubt them. I have never doubted him. He got in trouble. If he picked on the kids, hit his brother or sister, he got in the same kind of trouble as the rest of them got in. Discipline-wise, growing up, I mean, you couldn't do that. We're going to learn how to do that. I believe in you. You can do it. And that kids, period, need to, have that.
I think a lot of people can learn from them individuals. Well, there's one thing that I actually learned from them that special ability people have and deaf people have.
Okay, tell me that.
They always tell you the truth.
I would say that's true.
They just tell you how it is. They just tell you the
how
truth.
It is. That's true.
If you ask a question, do you think I look good in this? You think I'm fat? They're going to tell you
yes.
the answer.
So don't ask if you don't want it. Don't ask, don't tell, right?
And sometimes you don't have to ask. They just tell you. Mm-hmm. And I picked that up a while ago. It was like they're very straightforward with their answers and how they deliver it. But to other individuals, like them special need, they don't take offense to it. Mm-hmm. They're just like, okay, just move on.
Well, I think that's a huge legacy you have to pass on to your family, and so I think that's cool. So what would you say you will see yourself in the next 10 years? What is your dream? What would you like to see translation move into in the next 10 years?
Well, one, I want to see it grow. Two, maybe I'll start my own franchise.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
I don't know. I tried to give it to my daughters, like, to take over, and they was like, nah. They was like, nah, we don't want it. But then again, in the moment they said that, I don't know what's going to happen in 10 years. But a bigger school, more connections with, the city, doing more community outreach programs with the school, and building pillars throughout the city of not only just coming to the school, but trying to implement educations into elementary schools or junior high schools or something like that.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. So if you have been wanting to learn more about dance, if your kid is showing any signs that they want to, which all of them do because they love to dance. All my kids have. I don't know if I've ever been around a kid who doesn't like to dance around. Check out SugEasy at Translation and Movement right here in Overland Park, Kansas. And thanks again for being on the show. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to come. I know you're going to be like, what in the world? I have not admitted this to anyone, but when we had moved from Wichita to Atlanta, that was the last time I ever danced because it didn't transfer. Like when I got there, it didn't open back up for me to teach. And so that's one thing that I just got so wrapped up in taking care of my kids and being a mom and trying to figure out what I need to do next that I haven't. So guess what? We're going to stop that because I miss it.
But I call you a lie.
You call me a lie? Why?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because everyone that plays music at home, they always dance.
I dance.
So you didn't stop dancing.
I didn't stop dancing, but I mean, like I haven't danced like doing Zumba or classes and stuff like that, and I miss it. I do miss it at times.
Everyone dances in the comfort of their own home.
But you're right. I have danced. I've been in clubs a couple of times dancing, things like that. But I mean, like as in with a whole group of people having it at one time. That's fun. Like I should say a group dance. Let's just reframe that. A group dance. Because it's different. It's different. There's power. There's power in when you dance. On your own, like if you're in the club dancing with your friends or whatever. That's a whole thing. If you're at church dancing, that's a whole other thing. But when you have the power of a whole room doing a dance together, there's power in that.
Yeah, but the only difference from our dance, we're very different from other schools. We don't teach routines a lot. Mm-hmm. We're not very big on that. It's all about the understanding technique and the history behind the dance. So,
that's cool.
So you're learning the foundation and technique to understand how to be your own versus I have to do it like this. And so therefore, like at our school, when you learn how to dance, I'll teach you one way, but I want to see how you do it your way. Mm-hmm. And that's the understanding of like how to freestyle.
Ah, okay.
Because most people that... I'll put this in quotations, that say they teach a freestyle class and it's like, do whatever you want. I mean, there's actually technique to all of that.
Okay.
Because you have to be free inside the style that you're doing. So freestyle is a nice word, but what style are you doing? Right. So you can be free inside of hip-hop. That's the style. Mm-hmm. So people say, I'm freestyling, and they just do whatever they want. And I go, well, what style are you doing?
Right, because there's different styles.
And they're like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm just making my own up. And I was like, oh, it's good.
Well, that's cool. That'll be something. I have learned different styles through Zumba, but those are very few styles. Like you got your hip-hop, but it's not all styles. So I'll be interested in learning new styles. That'll be cool. So I'll be an adult member. So adults you can come too. So, but kids love it. Adults love it. And I'm going to bring Gabriel. Gabriel's going to love it. And so I'm excited for that. So come join me at Translation and Movement. Thanks for coming to another episode of Be Life Changers. And we look forward to seeing you the next time.